for a long time.
Yeah.
But I mentioned the report from Iron Mountain, which many people say is just science fiction. It's not science fiction because that material, the same material, was handed to me in a meeting in Tucson, Arizona in the 1980s.
Directly?
Yeah, directly in a meeting, yes.
A
government meeting that I went to.
Uh-huh. You read it.
It was a surprise to me because I didn't know what the nature of the meeting was, but we were flown to Tucson, Arizona, and stayed at a hotel room, and then we got together. And at the end of the first meeting, they handed out the report from Iron Mountain, but not in book form, but in paper format. And that's where I first learned of the plans from the Rand Corporation.
You are one of the first person I know that confirms the Iron Mountain inform.
It is. I don't have the paperwork anymore, but it was almost close or almost exactly the same thing as in the book that's now in print again.
So for you, the swine flu epidemic is just part of this plan?
I can't say epidemics are natural things. They're natural epidemics, of course, but in my opinion, the swine flu is, in this case, this is a dangerous thing, but it's my opinion only. My preparation is to take vitamin D3, letter D3.
What's that? What's that?
A vitamin.
Vitamin. Okay.
Vitamin D3, 2,000 IU, 2,000 international units every day, up to 5,000. The sun, for certain reasons, the sun converts in your skin, when it hits your skin, into vitamin D3, but because of the nature of the sun now and other factors, that won't work in this case. But for grippe, you call it grippe, or flu, any kind of flu, vitamin D3 will reduce your chances greatly of getting any kind of flu. Okay, so I recommend that as a supplement for other reasons too that have nothing to do with
flu. And the vaccine, do you recommend to
I will
people
not
to
take
put?
The vaccine.
No.
And I told my family members not to as well. I told them 3 years ago not to do this. On the Project Camelot site, there's some documentation, I believe, that was from long ago that I talked about the flu, and this was before anything came in the news. So I knew this in advance.
You know that the American people, they are telling, there are some information, some gossips saying that the government is going to
make it obligatory.
Make it obligatory to the people to put it, you know?
Yeah, this of course is the plan, is to make it obligatory with heavy penalties and fines, But I still won't take it. I will not take the vaccine, especially if it's forced, and I don't take flu vaccines anyway.
Do you think that the secret government has already contact with other extraterrestrial beings, such as the reptilians on this kind of stuff?
I don't. When people talk about a secret government, first of all, I'd like to mention that the governments, like when we talk about the level of the president or the royal family or such, they don't have access to this information or knowledge, as far as I know. And this is what this is what my experience has been, is they only can go through certain levels of security, and then the rest for touring, for this is what we have, and this and that. But so they're not aware of what's happening off-world,
Yeah.
They have no communication with these people. So when you ask about secret government, I need to know what you mean by secret government.
Who has the power? Kissinger, Rockefeller? Who is in charge?
You have power. You're in charge of running the interview, and then so it's different levels of power and strength of power. I mean, and in each person.
So you don't believe this well centralized in 3 persons, something like that? Do you believe this as the there are some people says that there are a couple of people of several people that has this power concentrated
Well,
in.
there are small groups that meet that do have power, including one that I mentioned in the Zurich conference that I don't want to mention again, three-letter agency that isn't spoken about very much. But
Dealing with satellites and so on,
yeah,
for instance?
that
Okay.
agency. But the thing is that ultimately they have their limits as to what power they really have. They want power, and they've been trying to have power for a long time, but in the next few years, they will completely lose all of their power very shortly.
Why?
Because of all the changes that are taking place and converging now.
So, what's the role of the humankind in all this story? This is something like governments and people like here in the Disclosure Project in a higher level position, but we, the people, what can we do in this story?
The best thing is very simple. If you have different belief systems, different religions, you need to open up your heart and realize that we're all here together and respect each other's beliefs as best as possible. Understand that we share a common ancestry, not just here, but our whole galaxy.
Yeah.
Our galaxy, we have a common heritage.
Galactic consciousness.
It's the galaxy, not the universe, but the galaxy. But right now we need to just focus on what happens here on the planet and help each other and stop fighting over my God and your God, you know. It doesn't make any difference, you know.
But do you think some pressure in the streets by the people, but the common people, could be a pressure to the government in order to disclose the information?
If you want to do something, do it in a non-violent way.
Yeah, of course.
If you have anger, that will